What does it take for a nation to claim land without firing a single shot? Welcome to Our Roots Retold. My name is Chisum, and today we're going to be talking about a remarkable and one of the most strategic stories of our African history. Today we're going to be talking about the Green March of Morocco. In 1975, Morocco embarked on a powerful, bold, and unprecedented action to claim the disputed territory of Western Sahara. This would change the course of history for Morocco, Spain, and the Sahrawi people that live there forever. This is a story of strategy, resilience, and a testament to the power of peaceful action in the face of political conflict. I'm wearing green just to tell the story today, so let's talk about it. Before we jump into the Green March itself, let's take a moment to understand the backdrop that set the stage for this historic event. Picture this. It's November 1975. Across the globe, African nations are gaining their independence, and the once powerful Spanish Empire is in decline and preparing to withdraw from its colonial holdings. One of those territories was the Spanish Sahara, a vast, resource-rich desert in northwest Africa. This land, spanning over 250 square kilometers, was home to the Sahrawi people, an indigenous group that had long sought self-determination. With Spain's departure, a power vacuum emerged, and two neighboring countries, Morocco and Mauritania, each laid claim to the region. Tensions were rising, and at the heart of it all, Morocco's King Hassan II would make a daring move to secure the territory. The Green March was born out of Morocco's strategic maneuvering. King Hassan II, facing both a political crisis at home and international pressure, decided to organize a mass demonstration. A march of peace, he called it. But it wasn't just any protest. It was a march designed to assert sovereignty over Spanish Sahara without firing a single shot. The plan was simple, yet audacious. On November 6, 1975, an estimated 350,000 Moroccans, including soldiers camouflaged amongst civilians, began to march towards disputed territory. They were not armed with weapons. They were armed with the Moroccan flag, copies of the Qur'an, and banners demanding the return of the Sahara. The marches symbolized Morocco's claim to the land, and the color green, associated with Islam, was chosen as the symbolic color of the movement. As the marchers moved towards the border, the Spanish government, caught in the midst of this political transition, hesitated. Spain's dictator, Francisco Franco, was dying, and the country was dealing with a fragile and uncertain future. Spain had already begun negotiations with the Sahrawi independence movement, the Polisario Front, but in light of the Green March, Spain found itself in a very difficult position. Morocco's massive mobilization, the sheer number of people involved, and the overwhelming determination were impossible to ignore. The Spanish troops stationed in the area were given strict orders to avoid bloodshed. The Spanish government knew that the situation would quickly escalate into a full-blown conflict. With the international community watching, the possibility of colonial war was inevitable. As the marchers reached the border, the Spanish army stood by, unsure of what to do. This show of force, combined with the peaceful nature of the demonstration, was designed to send a clear message. Morocco was ready to claim this land no matter what. King Hassan II's gamble paid off. By the time the marchers reached the outskirts of the disputed territory, Spain was forced to reconsider their stance. This was no longer a regional dispute. It had become an international spectacle. The Green March had caught the attention of the world, and the consequences of this mass demonstration would extend far beyond that fateful day in November. On the international stage, the Green March was met with condemnation. the United Nations Security Council swiftly passed Resolution 380, condemning Morocco's actions. The timing of the march, just 3 weeks after the International Court of Justice had issued its advisory opinion on Western Sahara, didn't help Morocco's case. The ICJ had ruled that there were no strong ties of sovereignty between Morocco and the territory. It instead emphasized the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination. But Morocco, led by King Hassan II, would not be deterred. The Green March, with its massive scale and symbolism, forced Spain into a corner, faced with an overwhelming military and logistical challenge from Morocco. Spain began secret talks with Morocco and Mauritania. The Madrid Accords, signed on November 14, 1975, were a direct result of these talks. These accords divided the Spanish Sahara between Morocco and Mauritania, with Spain agreeing to relinquish control of the region. But crucially, the Sahrawi people, those who had been fighting for their independence, were not invited to these talks. The Accords effectively ignored the wishes of the indigenous population. Morocco claimed the northern part, while Mauritania took control of the southern portion. But the situation didn't end with signing of the Madrid Accords. In the wake of the Madrid Accords, the Sahrawi people, led by the Polisario Front, rejected the agreement outright. They continued their fight for independence, leading to the Western Sahara War, a conflict that remains unresolved to this day. Mauritania, for its part, abandoned its claim to the territory in 1979, ceding the southern part to the Polisario Front. But Morocco quickly stepped in and took full control of that too. The Green March had set in motion a series of events that would shape the political landscape of the region for decades to come. And despite the ceasefire agreement in 1991, which called for a referendum on the future of the territory, the question of the Western Sahara's sovereignty remains one of the most contentious issues in African politics. So what can we learn about this story? I think that we can all agree that this was more than just a protest. It was a turning point. It got to show us the power of mass action. It also showed us the impact of colonial borders and the struggle for self-determination. While Morocco has now taken control of this territory, the people of the Western Sahara are still trying to seek their own path. This story is a reminder, a very kind reminder, that history shapes our present and that the fight for freedom is rarely ever simple. Well, thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. We really appreciate that. But until next time, when we tell you stories that connect us to our roots,